Okay, so here is the second part of this video. About 2 months later. So I did get the gun finished and back together and everything. And I did some other mods to it. And I want to kind of go through and point that stuff out. So I did take this gun on a deer hunt about 2 months ago, like a couple days after I got the gun finished. And so, I mean, it's already got like a few scratches and stuff on it, but that's fine. You know, it's a tool to be used. So I'm going to use it. So let's see here. Let me take this cap off. As you can see, I did put a scope on it. I'll tell you what, let me take it out of this case here. The ammo, if I can. Alright, trying to get a better view of it. Okay, so as you can see, I got it back together. And then and I made a few other mods to it. I'm trying to keep my camera focused here. This camera is not good at focusing really as fast as it should. But anyway, as you can see, the finish is nice on it. The finish, the top coat, which is the clear coat I ended up using, is called Def, and I picked it up from Home Depot, and it's a very hard finish. It's called Def, D-E-F-T. And it's a pretty hard finish. So I mean, so it's going to be waterproof and weatherproof and all that, at least just for the wood. So some of the mods I did for it, I added this Nikon scope, which is, I've had this scope for a long time. I got it a long time ago when I first got this gun. It's a Nikon Buckmaster 2. I put it on and then I took it off. You know, one thing about me, don't get me wrong, I like scopes and everything, but for the most part, I like to sight shoot. I've always sight shot this gun, but the day before I went deer hunting, I actually threw the scope back on. I decided to run a scope this time. I don't know why, I just did. But as you can see here, I also changed the front sight to a True Girl front sight, because I had planned on you know, using the sights, you know, for my deer hunting. Now the factory Marlin sight, I mean, it's an okay sight, but it just got where it was hard to see. You know, the factory front sight, you know how you have that hood on it. So I needed something that I can actually see better. You know, that was the problem with the factory front sight. This one here, I actually picked up online. I think I got it off of Amazon or something like that. This actually wasn't made for this gun. It was actually for like another gun. I actually ordered the wrong site, but I made it work, and it worked perfect. All I did was the screw. All I did was put it on a grinder and grinded it down, and then added some Loctite. And then after that, I mean, it stayed on there. I took, you know, probably when I was sighting my scope in, I probably shot it probably 15 rounds, you know, out there just having fun at the range shooting. And it stayed on there. So, I mean, it's definitely easier to see. You know, so it glows in the sun. When the sunlight hits it, it glows, of course. Now, the other mod that I did to it was the lever. I changed out the lever to the medium loop lever from Ranger Point Precision is where I got that lever. You can see the little symbol on there. This is probably the best upgrade I've ever done to this gun. I am so glad to get rid of that small lever. And I'm telling you right now, when you're hunting in the wintertime and you're wearing thick gloves, you want something like this. This is the Ranger Point Precision medium loop lever. Now they actually make one bigger than this one. from Ranger Point Precision. But I decided to get the medium loop lever. My 4570 has the big loop lever. I didn't want it that big on this 3030. But for me, you know, out hunting in the wintertime while you're wearing, you know, 2 pairs of gloves, which is what I did when it was cold. This is an absolute must for any lever gun. Especially if you got big hands, you're, you know, hunting in the wintertime wearing gloves. This is an absolute must. And I like the way it looks over the factory lever. It just looks so much better. It just looks so much better. So much better. And you can see I added a piece of leather. A leather wrap there. Put my Diamond D butt cuff back on. So I think that's about it on the mods I've done to it. I think I might add the excess rail. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure I'm gonna do that though, because I do like the factory buckhorn sights on these Marlins. It's just the front sight I had an issue with, so I don't have an issue with it anymore. But you know, the gun is accurate. I was out shooting it at the range probably 2 weeks ago, and this, I mean, I got it sighted in for 100 yards, and I was putting bullets through the same hole at 100 yards. So, I mean, it is definitely, you know, it is definitely one of my favorite guns to hunt with, hands down. Of course, when I put the scope on it, I had to add the hammer spur, you know, so I can have something to reach. Trying to reach it's kind of tight, you know. Again, if you're wearing gloves, I usually don't run hammer spurs, but, you know, of course, if you're wearing gloves, you got, you know, like a small space between the scope and the hammer. So, of course, everybody know what a hammer spur is used for. So, that's going to be it on my Marlin, on my upgrades, on my Marlin 336 3030 upgrades. So, thanks for watching, and I'm out.